Good morning, ma'am. We are from Group 6 and we are here to present our assignment topic on Japanese folk art movement, Mingei. So, in this presentation, we are going to talk about the introduction about the art form, its history, its influence in the early 20th century when it was started, what are the characteristics of that art form, example, interpretation, and its influence in early 21st century. The word Mingei is coined from the term Minshu Kogei, which means industrial art of the people. The philosophical pillar of Mingei is handcrafted art of ordinary people. This movement emerged during the time of rapid industrialization. It was aimed to promote handmade art during the industrialization. So during industrialization, the handmade art were suppressed because of that. So this movement promoted handmade craft for the ordinary people. And before this, the art form, the possessing of art form is the luxury of elite class of people. But after this movement, this art form, the possessing of art form has been shifted to ordinary class of people as well.
Now I will talk about brief history of the movement. It was led by the philosopher and critic Yanagi. It was from 1889 to 1961. There's a very interesting story behind this. In 1916, Yanagi made his first trip to Korea out of curiosity for Korean crafts. This trip led to the establishment of Korean Craft Museum in 1924 and coining of the term Mingei. The Mingei movement was established officially in 1926. It was inspired by arts and craft movement in Britain and Europe. The movement was very much influenced by the works of John Ruskin and William Morris. As the other arts and craft development, the Mingei movement emerged during a time of rapid change in Japan. This involved westernization as well as industrialization and urban growth. Mingei philosophy recognized this international and urban dimension, but at the same time asserted a new sense of Japanese national identity.
Okay, so we talk about the influence in the early 20th century. As soon as Mingei movement came up, so what influence did it have? So actually, when Mingei movement just started to come up, so that had a very revolution kind of a thing, which established a new style of middle class living for the Japanese people. So just initially, Ankit said about the craft movement was like for elite people, but then it kind of shifted from the elite people to the Japanese people who were there for who were very hardworking and middle class people as a majority. So it brought people from different backgrounds, different cultures all together, and it was basically about the art of the people, which Mingei basically means. And then it was also the influence which it have was to have a Japanese national identity, because at that time it was only the Western influence which had all over the place, but to have our own identity, it was very important for the Japanese people to have such kind of a thing, and therefore I believe Mingei movement actually came out and established a Japanese identity.
I'll talk about some of the characteristics of Mingei art. The Mingei art is utility oriented, which is made by ordinary people for common day users. The Mingei is a handcrafted art which is made from natural materials which are freely available in the nature, and the artwork is true to the materials, means no adulterated form of the materials is used, and means no synthetic paints or such things are used. Like in Western art, mostly synthetic paints and means the painting is done on canvas, which is for exhibition, or the artwork is not means the artwork is not
It's basically used for decorative purposes.
Yeah, it's for
Yeah.
ornamental purposes.
for decorative purposes, not to show it to the general means not for
Not for
exhibition,
general use.
not for exhibition purposes. The Mingei artwork is made from high quality materials, and it is made with unornamented simplicity. because most of the materials are available freely in the nature, so the Mingei art is mostly inexpensive. It is made by mass. The Mingei art is pure and simple in nature.
Mingei
Yeah,
is
the
designed,
Mingei is designed,
to be appreciated through everyday uses,
everyday uses.
just not for the display purpose.
And the Mingei art is not attributed to one single person. Means if you see a Mingei art form, it is mostly associated to a group of people or a locality, because it's made by the masses and it's not made by some particular person. Like a particular person is famous for this Mingei tradition.
So this is one thing which we really wanted to talk about. It says about an interpretation. So what basically we think of Mingei, or what Mingei means to us, is that it teaches us to appreciate things from everyday life. It teaches us simplicity, what simple things are like. Its intention is not about making art and craft appear aesthetically beautiful, but it's not something which Mingei emphasizes upon, but rather it's about valuing the creativity of the people which they operate on, working on normal objects. So basically our interpretation is that we have to value such kind of things which people work upon ordinary objects and not on aesthetically beautiful or things which are used for decorative purposes. So we'll talk about the influence in the 21st century. So the Mingei ideology was based upon awakening the people about the need to appreciate art that involved the expressions of head, hand and hands. For example, there have a lot of examples which we will coming down after this, in which we will see that how Mingei ideology was based upon working on everyday objects which were used for the commonplace and not for some decorative purposes or showing it to people or selling in the market. So the influence of the 21st century, what it has right now is that there was this lady from USA. She went to Japan and she was so influenced by the culture over there that she went back to USA and then she established a Mingei International Museum in 1978. And the basic thing was she was so influenced that she wanted to celebrate the art of the people, because Mingei essentially means how people celebrate their art. And therefore she came up with this concept of international museum where people from different countries like India, China, whatever they have to make, they can just go there and probably deposit all their things and it can be shown on a gallery, shown through a gallery. So this was one influence which we think the current world has through the Mingei movement. And so eventually, apart from the Western culture, Japan was also able to make its own identity through this Mingei movement. And despite the influence of the Western culture, this aesthetic of simplicity and functionality continues today to represent typically Japanese lifestyle or attitude towards life.
Now, let us go through some examples which we can see of easily see of Mingei. First, this is a palace doll. It's not exactly a daily use thing, but rather than it was a gift sort of from in the Edo period. There were generals who gave them to the imperial king, this, and these were used as a toy by the kids of the imperial court. As we can see, this is just a plain white doll and with a hat that resembles of that of a Sambaso dancer. Sambaso is a local dance in Japan, and as we can see, he is holding a gourd which is used to keep sake. So these in general are a very prized possession, rare treasure which are left very few nowadays in Japan also. These are some other examples. On the left hand side we can see that this is a jigai gake, also called as kettle hook hanger. The kettle hook hanger were of two types in Japan, basically representing the two household gods. This is one of the gods made representing one of the gods, and as we can see that it is a daily use item. It is not just for decoration purpose. We can clearly see the V-shaped form which was used to hang the pots. So this represents what my friend Sarthak earlier said, that Mingei was not just for decoration, it was for the daily use. On the right hand side, we can see that this is Suno Daru, that is sake cake with horns. So, as in Indian tradition, we have this. As in Indian tradition, we have this thing of going to the woman side of marriage and present with some things like that. And in Japan, we have this tradition that the friend or relative of the bride to be gives this sake cake, which contains sake as well as few other things, to the family of the girl or the bride to be. Now, on moving on to some few examples more. On the right side, we have this Konoha mask. Actually, this Konoha mask represents that of a Tengu. Tengu is a demon, sort of demon in the villages, and this is generally used for the festival purposes. I mean, like we have in our Indian culture also, that we wear masks and dance. So this was used for that sort of purpose. And on the left hand side, we can clearly see that this is a remain of a tree, and it was used as a tray. And this tree, it's pine tree, which is very common in Japan, and it symbolizes livelihood and longevity. And through these examples, we can clearly see that the central way of application of the principle of direct perception and intuitive ability, that the beauty was not born, it was made through the common people hands, not just using the synthetic paints that were common. And this reflected a belief on the part of Yanagi Tsuitsu, the father, and his followers, that true beauty can only be found in the works created in the spirit of self-innocence and close harmony with nature. That's all.
Thank you. These are the references.